Deletion in progress.
Undelete!
From universe detected. Deletion in
Exit game! Exit game!
Black Mirror Season 4 begins with the USS Callister dark parody and starts off the season by showing us parallels in time, giving the viewer a picture of the past, present, and future simultaneously, mixing the technologies we currently see with seemingly future technologies. Hi, and welcome to Chroma Film TV. In this video, I'll be taking a deeper look at Black Mirror's USS Callister and explore the multiple messages hidden in the episode. And without further ado, let's get into it. Daly is a gamer and a developer for a gaming company he runs with his friend Walton. As a developer, Daly is the brains of the operation, but he's stereotypically awkward, having an inability to express himself with confidence. His friend Walton is the communicator of the two. He's not as tech savvy as Daly, but without his communication skills, the company wouldn't be as successful as it is. As a gamer within the game, Daly has fashioned himself as a leader, showing the opposite qualities of who he is in their real world. We also meet the team members. Walton seems to get along with everyone pretty well, and they seem to have a genuine respect for him. Daly, on the other hand, with his lack of communication skills, only shares awkward exchanges with the team. In spite of this, the team is never disrespectful to him, but he makes them feel uneasy. Daly has serious boundary issues, snoops around, and eavesdrops on private conversations. What he hears, or at least his perception of it, determines if he'll add this person to his gaming crew. The costumes are based on Space Fleet, a show in the universe of the episode. But if you've ever watched Star Trek, you'll notice the costumes are like a merge between the crews of Tiberius and Jean-Luc. This merging is also shown in the locations, the creatures, and the cabin, like a sort of hiccup in the space-time continuum. There's also an as above, so below effect between the costumes of the crew versus the team. The character as a team member has a certain personality, but their crew member counterpart are the complete opposites. The uniforms they wear carries the properties of their real world and game world personalities, but are negative and positive representations of the colors. Unlike the other members of the crew, Daly's uniform reflects his personality as a staff member and as a crew member. As a staff member, his heart is dark, seeking revenge on anyone that slights him in the smallest sense. As the captain, he acts as a malevolent being, punishing his crew at will. During this episode, we discovered that Daly would execute revenge by secretly collecting the DNA of his staff. With this DNA, he made digital copies and uploaded them into the game for his sadistic pleasure, having an ability to maim or destroy his crew members with the wave of a hand. Copying of DNA may have seemed like a futuristic concept at the time, but is an example of a technology that's been around for many, many years. In a hidden sense, the episode touches on the ethical implications of making copies of human DNA.
The writing process takes your data file and encodes those ones and zeros into ACs, Ts, and Gs. Those ACs, Ts, and Gs are actually what gets sent to the device itself. So once we decide to read the data off the DNA, the read master mix is applied to the DNA storage pool. That master mix prepares the DNA to be read. Now that the DNA is readable, it gets pumped into the read device where it gets translated into ACs, Ts, and Gs sequences that the computer can understand. Those sequences then get decoded back into ones and zeros.
A good amount of the episode takes place within the game. This was explored in Season 3's playtest, but USS Callister adds more detail about the use of DNA. From the screen, looking in, we have an idea of how the crew interacted with one another, but what's less conveyed is that their copies are all uploaded into one place, the game, meaning anyone with access to the game could also read or have access to the minds of their teammates. This was also shown in the Crocodile episode later in the season, where Mia was forced by law to share her memories of an event she witnessed. In my humble opinion, gaming is a metaphor for the singularity. The goal is one consciousness shared by all. All knowledge, memories, and thoughts are in a central location, accessible to anyone connected to the digital system. By the end of the episode, the crew is able to overpower the diabolical captain by leaving him in space after the system update. As a result, he was stuck in this realm for eternity, or at least until his brain stopped working. In my opinion, this is a representation of spiritual hell. We know about the fire and brimstone, but there's also a mental torment that takes place. If you've seen a black cube, or even Superman for that matter, these are representations of places that are full of darkness, hopelessness, and fear. Imagine sitting in a room of complete darkness without even the smallest sliver of light. Now imagine being there for years with no one to talk to and no one to answer your call, and during it all being attacked in the darkness without being able to see who or what is attacking you, and without any ability or power to do anything about it. USS Callister continues the scrying mirror legacy, giving us bits and pieces of the technocratic dystopian puzzle. Along with technology, the episode starts to touch on things of the spiritual realm in a metaphorical sense. The captain was like a representation of a false god, the Gnostic god, an Antichrist, or Satan, using his powers to oppress and punish his team while wearing colors that express the same sentiment. The episode also addressed prophecy. In Revelation 9:6, Daly's partial demise at the end of the episode was a good representation of this. Technically, Daly was alive, but in another dimension of sorts. His mind was incapacitated and with an inability to do anything but sit there in a sea of darkness and hopelessness. In this situation, if he had wished for death, he wouldn't find it. At least not for some time. Not until his natural body shut down. This episode starts the season off by continuing to put what appears to be future technologies in a present tense, using entertainment to blur the line between science fiction and science faction, while adding a spiritual or ethical connotation to them, bringing us to a realm that initially seemed far off into the future, but has been proven time and time again to be right here at our doorsteps. If you would like sources for the topics mentioned in this video, details will be listed in the description box. And on that note, peace.